All right, so you should be on the slide that says letter A, luster. And so if you're looking at that and you're watching this video, you're in great shape. So what we're going to do is talk about major ways that we can figure out what a mineral is just by doing some simple observational testing. And luster, which is the way it reflects light off an unweathered surface, is one of the easiest big narrow downs when it comes to figuring out what a mineral is. So here we go. The first one that you see there, we have two main types basically, metallic and non-metallic luster. And the first one you see there is a mineral called pyrite, and it looks like a metal. So that is what we consider a metallic luster. Now, I want you to have a look at one of my personal samples that I actually own because it was pretty. And I'm going to shine some light at it and kind of let you see how it's pretty, it sparkles. It also, this light is kind of an ugly color light, but when I turn it off, you can see it kind of looks like gold. And you know, that's actually what you want if you think it's metallic. You want it to look like a metal that you know is a metal. So when I say metal, I mean, you know, we have silver, we have gold, we have stuff like copper, we have aluminum. I actually have a sample of a copper pipe right here that we use also in a different part of this lab, but you know, copper has a very distinct look to it, and I want you to kind of keep that in your mind. I have a piece of aluminum foil here. That is metallic luster. I mean, clearly what you think of as a metal is shiny, but I also wanted to trick you a little bit because shiny doesn't always mean metallic. So this looks very shiny, and actually in this light it looks really, really metallic. But if you look at it from the side, it's not quite so impressive, and I'm also going to show you some other pieces of it because this stuff, these are smaller flakes of that same mineral. It's actually flexible, and if you're looking really closely, do you notice anything funny about that? See how you can see the other minerals through it? Now, I don't know about you, but most of the time when I'm looking at a piece of metal, I can't see through it. And that is why this, when you have multiple layers of it, kind of looks shiny and almost metallic in some ways. But when I take this flashlight and kind of shine it up through, see how the light passes through it? That is not going to happen when it's metallic. This is a non-metallic luster. This is actually a pearly iridescent luster. When you do the same experiment with just a piece of thin aluminum foil, turn the light on, shine it up, you cannot see the light through that piece of foil. See, there it is, it's on. And that's the weirdest part about metal, is once those metal atoms get together, they create a bond that is so thick and strong that light cannot pass through it. So get that out of the way. So that is your kind of spiel on metallic luster. There's some really cool looking ones that are metallic. I have another one here on the table, and if I hold this up, that's a mineral called graphite, and I'll shine the light at that again. You can see that metallic shine right there. And you know, have probably heard of graphite and what it's used for. We'll get into that in another section here. I also have some less obvious ones. This one looks like a black rock, but in the right light, you can see that this also has a metallic shine to it. This is actually magnetite. And so one of the other things you'll notice sometimes that kind of hides whether it's metallic is if it's rusty. Now, that's due to certain atoms that are in it and reactions that take place over time. But here's one that looks kind of rusty, but I might actually say that this is still metallic because if you look closely in certain spots, you see how that little spot right there has almost looks like it's sparkling a little bit, kind of right here where my finger is. That is a metallic luster, but a lot of it has been covered up by reactions that have occurred over the lifetime of this sample that have caused corrosion or rust to form on the surface of the mineral. And so if I wanted to see a metallic luster, I could break this open and kind of look at the inside, and it would be silver-ish again for a time until that also started to react and cause rust. And I think some other, no, I think that kind of beat the metallic luster to death. It is a little confusing, but if you see rust, think metal rusts, and so there you go. That would be a metallic, possibly a metallic luster, most likely. And you will still be able to see elements of metallic luster embedded within the rust somewhere. Some other clearly non-metallic lusters would be this. Again, I can see through this. This is a piece of quartz that has obvious non-metallic properties. As a matter of fact, if you look through your second slide on luster, it gives you several examples there. Pyrite, galena, magnetite, those are all metallic. Calcite, sulfur, olivine, and quartz, which I'm holding, that's actually non-metallic. And it gives you a couple of different words to describe luster that is non-metallic. This one right here for quartz is considered a glassy luster. There are other minerals, including the one I have already here that we talked about earlier, that kind of fakes being metallic a little bit. If you look closely and shine the light, I don't know if it'll work, but you might be able to see like little rainbows or little color patterns show up. That would be a pearly or iridescent luster. So that's what you see on your slide. You'll see that within calcite as well. So that's metallic versus non-metallic. And like I said, the whole reason there is you can eliminate, if you think it's a metallic mineral, you'll be able to eliminate a whole lot of unknowns really quickly. So it's helpful in identifying kind of broad categories of minerals. There we go.